Now that you've watched some of the videos on what ceramic is, what are its properties, what makes it special, your task is to try to find something of ceramic in your home. And I'm going to give you some tips on some of the four big observable things you can see to tell if something is ceramic or not. So the first observable quality that you'll see is it conducts heat. In one of the videos, the scientist mentioned it has alumina and silica in it. That's another word for metal and glass. So even though it feels like kind of a mud-based material, it also has these other elements that allow heat to be conducted. So it's used for kitchenware quite a bit. You can see there's an image of a mug there. It's used for coffee cups. It's used for baking dishes fairly often, and it's often used for plates because plates go in the microwave. So if you look in your kitchen, that might be one place to check. Another quality is ceramic is glazed. On this picture to the left, you can see there's an example of it when it's in clay form, and then after it's been covered in a material that is a mixture of a clay powder and glass, again, silica. When it's heated to a really high temperature, it creates a chemical reaction that coats the entire thing in a glass. So almost all ceramic pieces are going to have that really shiny exterior that feels like glass, very, very smooth. It can come in a lot of different colors. It can have patterns on it, but a lot of times you'll be able to tell something is ceramic because it'll have this super smooth glass coating on the outside. Another quality, this one's a little bit harder to observe, but it is just a true fact about it, is it's a very hard material. So if you touch it with your fingers, it will not be squishy at all. It'll feel very hard. But if you were to drop it, it would shatter. So ceramic, although it is hard, it is extremely fragile. It does not have the ability to be flexible at all. So something to think about is if you think there's something in your home that is ceramic, if you squeeze it with your fingers, it would not have any movement to it. It would be a very hard material, but you probably would be able to tell it feels very fragile. This is probably the most common way you can tell something is ceramic, is looking at the bottom. So I mentioned that ceramic is coated in glaze. The very bottom cannot be coated in glaze because when you heat it up, it has a fusing reaction, and if the bottom had glass on it, that glaze, it would fuse to whatever it was sitting on and you wouldn't be able to get it off. So ceramic artists leave the bottom unglazed. You can see on these cups there's just a ring of kind of an unglazed material, and if you touch that unglazed material, it feels like sandpaper. It's very, very porous. So a lot of times if you think something is ceramic, flip it over. If the bottom has kind of a clay color to it and it feels like sandpaper, very, very porous, then you definitely have something that is ceramic. So again, here are kind of the four big things that you can observe in terms of ceramic. It conducts heat, so look in the kitchen. It's going to be a very hard but fragile material. It often will have a glaze, so it looks like glass on the outside, and the bottom has no glaze at all. It's very, very porous. So if you flip it over, you'll be able to observe that. In some of the videos, it mentioned sinks are often made of ceramic. Sometimes bathtubs are made of ceramic. Sometimes floors are made of ceramic. So if you can't find an item in your kitchen or in your home, look underneath your feet. Sometimes those materials can be made of ceramic. So I very briefly just wanted to model the final step of what you need to do is to look around your home and find something that was made of ceramic or that you think is made of ceramic, and then how you can let me know that you found it. Basically what I'm looking for is that you will show the item and then describe one thing that you learned about ceramics that you can observe on the item. So to give you an example, I was looking around my kitchen and I found these salt and pepper shakers that are shaped like cactuses. I got them at a garage sale in the Willie Street neighborhood during the Willie Street Fair. And some things I can observe about them, they have this really smooth exterior that looks like glass. It kind of has a sound to it. So I believe they are glazed. And the other thing is if I look on the bottom, sure enough, there's a really porous material and it's not glazed on the bottom. So there is that ring, which tells me they probably are ceramic. Now, do I know 100%? I don't, but in terms of the assignment, you're just making your best guess. The other thing I can observe is I feel like if these dropped, they would probably shatter into pieces. So that's kind of the third thing. I don't want to put them in the microwave to see if they conduct heat, so I just needed to come up with one thing, and I've described it to you. So in order to do the assessment, what I'm going to recommend to you is use your cell phone to just take a picture of the object you're observing. So in my case, my cactus, I would just snap a picture quick, and I would email that picture to myself and then add it into my Google Drive. And once it's in my Google Drive, I can insert it very easily into our weekly journal prompt so that I can see the picture of what you were looking at. Or on the video journal, you can have a picture next to you while you're talking. It says insert a photo sticker. And again, you can do it right from your Google Drive as well. If you do not have access to a camera, that is also totally fine. Just please describe the object in detail and at least one thing that you can observe that makes you think that it is ceramic. So again, if you don't have access to a camera, it's totally okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you find on your ceramic hunt, and I look forward to next week. Take care.